Y2K was a joke. Fucking, there were no hoverboards. Like, it was bullshit.
Y2K, I still think it's coming. I still think it's gonna happen.
Nice.
I
ready.
still believe in Y2K.
I'm prepared.
Yeah, I'm prepared. Yeah,
I'm as ready as I'm gonna be. How about that? Trying to explain Y2K to kids now, they're just like, you know, it's not a phenomenon they can grasp. But
we basically have a Y2K every few months now. You know, everything just going to shit. Hold on, let me close this window. Of course, they're blowing leaves directly outside my window. Hold on a second. Damn day laborers, how dare you? How dare you have a blue-collar job while I'm trying to be in here and talk about art with my friend.
That's right.
We're soft boys in here.
This is the art show.
I was so excited that we have such nice viewers that say such nice things about our show. It's crazy how nice people are.
We got questions
about
from
us in our show.
We got questions today.
Oh, you got questions today.
Yeah.
That's
We're
right.
gonna get to those.
That's right. Yes. Yeah. Let me know anytime you want to get to.
We
those.
got time,
but,
man. I got a bunch of shit I want to talk about too.
Yeah, I'm in no rush.
I'm in no rush. And there are other things that I want to do. There are other things that I want to contribute. And we'll talk about that stuff some other time.
Well, that's when you set up your OnlyFans. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
Feet time. It's
Oh,
time
you hear
to
that,
make
fellas? Fellas, you hear that?
Foot money. That's right. I'm going.
You wanna see Schuler's hooves? Cough up the dough.
Get on OnlyFans, and you can pay me to dig around in my nail beds with some sort of sharp implement. I'll do it.
He'll tap dance through banana pudding for a hefty fee minus my 20% guidance fee, of course, as his manager.
Right.
As his manager. It's weird though, because I manage Schuler, but then I have to pay my manager, which happens to be Schuler Benson.
I know,
who is managed by
you,
Patrick Bruss, who is then
it's just diminishing returns over and over and over again.
The corporation, which is set up by Schuler Benson. Yeah, it's this whole Ouroboros, and we're eating each other's tails over and over.
It is. Sick of the taste of your butt, brother. Hey, yeah, let's.
Welcome to the show, sir.
It's okay. So you got your yerb, right? I see that you were not.
Of course.
You're not drinking Borges yerb. I was like half expecting this time for you to have like a fucking metal straw sticking out of a. Yeah,
I've done that. It's not. I don't like that version. You got to spit out a lot of stuff, and it's real.
There's that
earthy.
So like I got to thinking about. I was like, man, that would be pretty interesting. Okay, so I've had some unique ideas about merch lately, and I'm going to tell you one of them, but you can't.
I'm all ears.
The first one you have to cut. All right.
Okay. All right. Now, am I going to cut here, and then people are going to hear up to this point, or am I going to cut this
Patrick,
whole thing?
I'm not speaking to now Patrick.
Okay.
I'm speaking to future editor Patrick.
Yes.
Stop right here.
Gotcha, you bastard! I'm putting all this on the show. It's all on the show. Anyway, you want to get back on road here?
Yeah, we're back on route now.
What was that? Okay, so
future Patrick, we're back on route.
Yes. Copy that. All right, sir. Here, let me show you here. You said you weren't. Did your mail arrive? You said you weren't sure your mail was good. Oh, it did. Okay, well, I've got fuckloads. Or I don't know if we're supposed to curse on YouTube now. Everybody's cutting out all the curses. I don't know if I'm going to cut the fucks out of the fucking show.
What are you talking about?
So here's your fucking pile.
Can we not say fuck?
You don't know about this?
No, what are you talking about?
Oh, well, everybody now is like, oh, you can't curse on YouTube because the algorithm will push you down. Fuck off.
No, I don't care.
Okay, I'm saying it right now. Fuck off.
Yeah, who cares?
We're going to curse on this show because we're grown men.
Push me down.
We're grown fucking men.
Push me down. I don't care.
Push me down, baby. Here is the
yeah, dude, I've got too much shit to talk about today. Like, I got too much shit.
Well, I'm jumping right in because this arrived, and this is because of you.
Yes,
you talked me into this.
Is it not the shit though?
Yes, and I see a lot of different flavor on this. Yeah. This is a DEVANGELIC's first album, which Schuler talked me into buying. Resurrection denied, because their new one is out right now, Zool. Their first one is a lot more kind of meat and potatoes.
Meat and potatoes, brutal death metal. Yeah,
and it has a very natural drum sound, which is odd for them. So it has a different flavor to it.
I think that Ersetu, that's when they really became like at least in spirit, a tech death band. I think that
they got the big budget
arrangements.
Sound
yeah, they got big budget. They got bigger budgets. They got tighter, more technical arrangements. Doing some more experimentation. The new record Zool has like some atmospheric type stuff. It's a little bit more. It's a little bit, I'm not going to say groovier, but it's not as fast and complex either. Think of like Nile's more accessible moments, and that is where I'd put the new DEVANGELIC. But that first one, Resurrection Denied, like you said, man, it's definitely a straight ahead fucking meat and potatoes brutal death metal record. Like that first track on there is like, that's like a pop song, man. Like that shit is super fucking catchy. It is, dude. But well, by brutal death metal standard,
Eucharistic Savagery.
that's the one, baby. You got to watch out for the Eucharistic Savagery.
It is interesting that it doesn't really sound like an old album though. Like someone could have told me this is the new Devangelic that came out instead of Zool, and I think, oh, they changed directions. Oh, that's interesting. It doesn't sound like dated really. It just sounds like almost kind of a different band a little bit. Like you said, it's a little slammier.
I think the lineup has changed.
Oh, it has. Yeah, I'm not.
I think so. I'd have to.
You know what? You're probably right. I just haven't looked into it, but yeah, I really like how natural the drum sound and how it's got. Yeah, a little bit more of a slammy side to it and a little less density, I guess. So, yeah, because, I need to be spending all this money,
That's right. These are good things to spend money on, man. Like, there's a lot of people spending money on shit like their fucking mortgage or, like, donating things to, like, fucking college. Donating to, like, the ASPCA. Not us, brother. Not us. We're fucking buying... I'm buying fucking shit that I got no business buying. Go ahead.
But see, I also consider that these are archival, that because physical things are going away. So now I have a whole different view where I'm looking at it like, hey, I'm holding on to these like I'm holding on to books. I also hoard books. There's boxes behind me. I'm sure you've seen it. They're loaded with books and music, and I have very little of anything else in my life. And that's all I want to consume. Speaking of which, this is a band I've been hugely passionate about and talked to you about a lot, and clearly we have to fight the glares here on the show. That would be Decaying Purity.
Yes, I saw you've got the fucking...
Got the first two.
You got the ones that are hard to get, you son of a bitch.
Yes, I've been looking for them for years, and guess who had them for a really fucking cheap price, almost the original price.
Who?
On Discogs, out of nowhere. Fucking Deathgasm Records right here in America. I was like, what? Because I was almost going to buy these motherfuckers from, like,
This is literally from Deathgasm. It came in the mail today.
The whole thing?
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay, those motherfuckers are really making some bank off of your boys here.
It's a good fucking store.
Yeah, so I got these. This Decaying Purity, I can't believe this. I just got these from Deathgasm, and you got that whole pile. But yeah, I've been trying to find those forever.
Yeah.
From, all these stores in Europe and shit, at crazy prices. And yeah, finally Deathgasm just had them, and it's like, these are really hard to find, and both amazing. The Existence of Infinite Agony. The Existence of Infinite Agony being this one, which is has like all their albums have this amazing guitar playing. Yeah, the dude who plays guitar, the main guitar player, main songwriter in this band, Mustafa, he is god tier guitar player, and I keep saying this. He's a guy that could step into Cannibal Corpse if like Rutan stepped in. He's that good of a player. So yeah, they have two newer albums, and his guitar playing is just mind-boggling.
Tortuous.
Tortuous, you find it.
Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah, I mean, like, not in a bad way. Not torturous, tortuous.
I never knew there was a distinction there between those two.
So torturous is like torture, right? Tortuous is like twisty, like a snake.
Tortuous.
Twisty and turny.
I love it. That's very Lovecraftian term.
Like when you have long... I don't like, when I'm grading, I tell my students to avoid long, tortuous sentences because they're torturous for me to read.
Because they're torturous. Wow, you have taught me a word. Tortuous.
Finally, this fucking PhD has paid off.
I'll tell you, I have a band here which is a bit tortuous. In a good way, I find.
Tort me.
I'm sure you're familiar with Ossuary Anex, a band which I have become obsessed with over the past year or so.
Yes.
And so now I've finally gone and tracked down all their stuff on physical, including that little EP they put out. I have their first one on the way.
Excellent.
And I've been very much obsessed with this album. But yes, Ossuary Anex's latest album, Obscurantism Apogee, is an album which I find fascinating. It has a very unique style. These guys are Russian, I believe. Mm-hmm. You always correct me because I'll say it's from one region. You go, no, it's from this particular
I may not know that. I don't know them. I don't know where they're
But usually you're right. You're usually right.
No.
Are you familiar with this album, or have you dived into it?
No.
Highly recommended because it's very unique. They have this style that I put it out on Twitter once. Like, how would you describe this weird style they had? And someone came back and said, it's like they're tumbling. I'm like, yes, it's like something is tumbling downstairs or something is how they. I
like that movement. I like that description of movement.
It's hard to put into words, but especially in the first song on the album, "Contempt of God," it's very obvious, and you'll immediately see with their strange riffery, and it's very. They have a depth to their style, which I think like a sophistication. This EP is a little bit more primitive, a little more black metal-y, but also fascinating. I love these guys. I really recommend them. I feel there's an intelligence behind what they're doing, and though I always find these things hard to put into words, but I always feel you understand what I'm saying.
I do, and I'm in a similar spot right now too with music that I'm looking for. I like it when it feels like the people who are making it are engaged with more than just like wanting to rock. Now, if they're only wanting to rock, come the fuck on in, because I'll listen to that as well.
That's its own thing, sure.
But like right now, like some of the stuff that I'm reading is a little bit more dense, and I'm just sort of, and like music is reflecting that, and sort of the way that I'm. It's really cool at this point to be able to like chill out enough and see how the way that I consume media across different media is like affecting the others, you know. But like so the stuff that I'm reading right now is taking me a little bit longer, and naturally I've sort of. And also just because we've had some excellent fucking tech death that's come out recently. But like that, one of the band that I'm listening to right now, who I feel like is intellectually written, with some shortcomings in a few departments, but all the same, still a really fucking incredible band, is LECHEROUS NOCTURNE.
Oh wow, yeah, they're very
real fucking
techy,
right? Real dense, but just like there's a lot of memorable stuff in the songwriting and like the lyrical themes. Like they're engaging some difficult shit, you know what I mean? And there's like reflections of the times that are put into those lyrics in ways that I think are sort of interesting. And it's just it's something that I've enjoyed listening to specifically because I've had to work at it a little bit to try and see,
I hear you. Yeah.
Listen and listen again, you know. There's only so many people in South Carolina who can play this caliber music, right? Okay, and I say that as a former South Carolinian.
Yeah. You being one of them.
I can't play this kind of shit. I'm talking about like musicians of this caliber, and they're all up around Greenville. None of those motherfuckers were down where I was.
That's where all the good drugs are.
Interesting, relatively tight scene up there. I'm not sure who all's in that band now, but you know, I dig their shit. It makes me think. I think Age of Miracles has passed. It's one they did on Unique Leader. I think it's a challenging record, man. Like there's definitely some interesting topics in there. It's worth checking out. And I think that musically it's a really cool fucking record. But I think that there's like some Nile crossover. There's probably some Narcotic Wasteland crossover. That scene up there is
new Nile on the way.
Oh really?
They're already.
Excellent.
Yeah.
That last one came out a while ago.
Yeah, it's longer than one would think. Which that was pretty solid. I only had one complaint about that last Nile album. They did a song where they like blatantly ripped off Thieves by Ministry and did the riff for Thieves. Yeah.
Where is that on that record?
There's a part on that Nile album where they do that exact thing. This is Thieves. Yeah, this is one of the most famous songs in the world.
I'm totally okay with that. I have to go back and check it out again, but I'd totally be okay with that.
This is an album I really want to talk about. That new Esophagus, Inglorious Beings.
Yeah.
That is something else.
It doesn't sound very good, man. I don't like the...
I love it.
I don't like the quality. I don't like the sound quality of it, man.
It's got a weird thing that people might not be picking up exactly on what this is, but I'll tell you what it is. They have such a weird natural drum sound on that. All their cymbals and stuff have no noise gate on them.
Yeah.
So you're getting all this weird atmospheric noise from the cymbals throughout the album, and it makes this weird kind of bell humming sound that goes on in the background. Listen to it again, you'll immediately pick up on it.
Right.
And so it creates this weird atmosphere that almost sounds like what is that, a keyboard in the background, or what are they doing? But no, it's just their cymbals. It has a very weird production. It's so stupid, so rudimentary sound.
Yeah,
like
that's
I guess maybe that's what you're not liking about it, but that's exactly it. To me, I feel it's genius.
It's just that I don't like the combination of sounds. It's not. It's not.
It's very.
It's fucking weird,
very
man.
caveman.
Like I'm gonna have
It's very weird.
I'm gonna have to try it again.
Well, did you like the previous Esophagus album? The one that was like had a predator on the cover?
Not particularly. I
didn't like that one, but I love this one.
maybe I just
think
haven't heard
this
the
is-
new one. I don't know. Like
It's a weird piece of art, but no, it is really primitive and it's very like the production is kind of garbagey, and but I feel it's like a painting or something.
Yeah.
It's like, no, that's what they meant. That's how it's supposed to be. And you know, on the cover, it's like this old man who seems to have accidentally summoned a Cenobite or something, who's walking into the room to go, hey, buddy, it's time to play. And for some reason, that really seems to speak to me in terms of the tone of the album.
But there's not a fucking predator on the cover of the new one?
No, they went in a whole different direction. This one's more kind of a biblical,
fuck that
almost
shit.
like a devangelic album in terms of the,
Nah.
you know, the visuals.
They are the predator
But,
band.
yeah,
Like I'm not trying to. I feel like they've unofficially become like Predator has become their mascot. I don't think that they should. They got some good brand recognition.
We can all use the Predator now, Schuler,
Well, fine.
including your band. Including TROCAR.
I don't know.
You can stick a TROCAR right in the Predator's urethra.
We could make
anytime
like a
you want.
TROCAR launcher that the Predator has mounted to his body or her. I got Alien 3 playing right now, but I did see yesterday, which I know you and I haven't talked about this, but I don't know if you knew about it, or I'm sure you did. But Fede Alvarez is doing the new Alien movie.
Oh yeah.
That we were talking about how much we love Fede the other day. A Fede Alien movie, man. I'm real fucking excited. I'm very, very
I
stoked.
thought it was a TV show.
I think it's a movie.
No?
I thought it was a movie.
Oh,
If it's a fucking TV show, I'll be even more stoked.
no, you're
but I
right.
think it's a movie.
No, there's both. There is a TV show coming.
Yeah,
That's
I've
by
heard.
the guy who did Fargo.
Yeah, Noah Hawley,
Right.
I think.
That sounds
Yeah.
right. Yeah, I think it's that guy. Yeah,
But I
that
think
guy's
it's-
apparently got a whole season of a show, and then so the Fede thing is a movie. I didn't know it was a movie.
Yeah.
Are there any details of the plot?
Some young friends go to a place and discover a horrifying situation. Imagine if the friends are like going to some fucked up planet to like camp out, right, and get their friend off heroin. Space heroin, right? Like in the future.
That first Alien movie, I still think, is one of the most terrifying movies I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And when I rewatch it, I completely cut out all knowledge that I have of other movies or mythology. Or to me, it's like this is a thing they found. We have no knowledge of what it is. When they go into that egg chamber, that is one of the most terrifying Lovecraftian scenes in movie history, and it still gives me the chills. Terrified me so much as a kid. And then of course Cameron's incredible, mind-boggling follow-up, which just took everything to a whole different level. I think that's a true masterpiece of its own, and I consider those two the end. Then there's a bunch of cool movies that feature aliens in them that have nothing to do with the Alien franchise, in my opinion. But so that's how I
However you choose to enjoy them is however you choose to enjoy them.
do you oh, you said you don't have Shudder, right? So you're not keeping up with the Joe Bobs.
Now that I've got the TV down here, I'm planning on getting it this summer.
Joe Bob, I love him. He's a treasure in my opinion, and he just did a Fulci double feature, which I tweeted you about, which was starting probably right when you were going to bed.
Yeah, man, you know me. I'm a nighttime sleepy man.
They showed Zombie and The Beyond. I hadn't rewatched those in particular in a long time, but I worship Fulci, and I had forgotten that Eibon Comics had done this whole series of Lucio Fulci comics.
Nice.
Specifically, they're not only adaptations, but also extending the stories a little bit and going into further gore and so forth. And
nice.
A lot of artwork here from our friend Zornow, who is on Twitter, who he's done artwork in a couple of these Seven Doors of Death. See, like portraying scenes from the films and stuff. They'll recreate them very well. Yeah, it's very gorgeous stuff.
I'd read that.
And see, they're great. They're great. And really, really full-on gore. But yeah, being that Fulci films are always full of highlight gore scenes, it's fun to see the particular gore scenes recreated in beautiful art. But yeah, I rewatching those. Are you a Fulci fan at all?
Oh yeah, I've got House by the Cemetery. Yeah, yeah.
That's my favorite.
Yeah,
that one's my fucking
sitting right
favorite.
behind me. Recently, I've been diving into Hammer. I ordered this. It's 20 movies on a Blu-ray collection.
Fuck yeah.
And it just came today, and I'm getting stoked on getting into it.
I love Hammer.
Hammer's. It's just absurd, man. So
love
like,
that shit.
I'm looking forward to catching up
I
on
don't know,
all of that.
I grew up watching so many old Hammer movies on TV, on USA Network, hosted by horror hosts and stuff. Those movies are just, I love them so much. Yeah, Peter Cushing is like, my hero.
Well, yesterday, me and Celeste were talking about, I can't remember how the conversation started, but we were talking about like movies that fucked us up when we were kids, and one of hers was called Wheels of Terror. And she was like, I watched it on USA Network when I was a kid, and I was like, I have no fucking idea what you're talking about. I've never heard of this shit before, but I guarantee you that Patrick has. And so I sent it to you, and you told me earlier you'd never heard of it either. And so
which is rare for me.
That's what I'm saying.
She totally stumped me.
I was like, this is a fucked up, like, obscure movie about some weird shit that used to run on USA Network in the early 90s. Like, Patrick probably owns physical copies of this.
Specifically USA Network,
exactly.
Which I grew up on.
So now
I can't believe I missed this.
Now you've got to run this down, man. Like,
Wheels of Terror, huh?
1990 television film directed by Christopher Kane.
That's got to be on YouTube somewhere.
Wheels of Terror.
I'm not having just some wacko nightmare here. Come on, the phone! It's real.
Wheels of Terror. Hope you enjoy the ride.
I'm not familiar with that, but speaking of USA Network and garbage from that era, which I love, that movie, Cabin by the Lake.
Yeah.
The Cabin by the Lake was he kind of a really unrepentant hammy villain in it, and it's pretty awesome. I enjoyed it.
There's a sequel.
There's two of them, and those are fun if you can find them on YouTube.
Deranged killers have the strangest of hobbies.
Sorry, I gotta go off and murder someone.
Whether it's sailing
I want off this boat.
or a spot of gardening,
He gardens their underwater graves.
they have dynamic vision
Okay, I'll drown the girl. You know, this is some sick stuff.
and an artistic approach.
Which one of you wants to die?
Judd Nelson stars in Cabin by the Lake.
So I ordered some. I went on a Rogga kick again, right? Number one, I got this Paganizer 7-inch from 2019. It's a split that I didn't have. And the Paganizer track on here is pretty good, but I had never heard of this band HEATHENSPAWN before. Are you familiar with them?
Is that one of Rogers?
No, they're from Australia.
No.
It's a melodic death metal band from Australia, and they're absolutely fucking killing it, dude. Like, they've got really well-written songs. It's got a lot of thrash to it, and then because I like that so much, I ordered their EP, HEATHENSPAWN's EP from 2017. And this is from Australia, directly from the band, and it already fucking made it here in less than a week, which I thought was pretty impressive.
Man, I love so much Australian metal these days.
Yeah, dude.
They're really so many great bands coming from there.
Yeah, these guys are fucking killer, man. And like I'd never heard of them anywhere else before. The other Rogga shit that I bought was To Those Who Bring the Torture albums. It was Dark Chamber and Pain Offerings. I didn't have either one of those. The most recent Echelon, which is one of the ones that he does with Dave from Benediction.
I think I got the first one.
Dave Ingram. I got the most recent Rogga self-titled one, that just when he's going by Rogga Johansson. It's a little, I know, me too, man. It's a little bit more chill. It's like sort of like middle era, Oracle era In Flames almost. A little bit more. It's melodic death metal, but it's got a little bit more room to breathe. It's a little prettier. He's thinking a little bit more about arrangements. It's kind of like that Eye of Purgatory record, or at least the first Eye of Purgatory record.
It's a project where he can kind of get out
other
vibes that he doesn't normally go into.
As opposed to Paganizer. I fucked up. I got a couple of fuck-ups that I get to talk about today, actually. So I just got an email that said pre-order the new Paganizer release, and I was like, okay, cool, and I just grabbed it without looking at it. Well, it turns out it's a fucking greatest hits CD, and there's nothing on here that I don't already have. Paganizer's best of, Strike Force Valhalla, exists.
Roger's running out of titles.
So you should.
I love it.
Yeah, I know, man. He's
That's a good one.
So Demiurge, right? his band that he used to be in.
Which is my favorite of all his projects.
Right. Thinking that I was buying a couple of Demiurge albums, but I ended up getting one from a brutal death metal band. It's just one dude in France called Demiurge. Yeah, it's got an E on there. And it's spelled different. This is good, though. This guy's good. This is brutal death metal. It's heavy as fuck. I say it's pretty tight as far as I can tell, because the other Demiurge that I got is not. This is like straight up Nazi black metal shit. It's like lo-fi black metal on like pagan North,
just like we love
Heathen Records or some bullshit like that. So
I think you may have fucked up. You gotta have that Metallum window open while you're ordering.
Well, I usually do, but a lot of times I can get away with it. It's not something that I planned on. Now, the stuff that I ordered that I did get, the stuff that I wanted that I ordered that I got, is pretty fucking sick. So how about old Profanity? As I understand it, you're a fan.
Well, it's not necessarily. It's a band that I'm studying. Very difficult.
There's a lot going on.
To understand, because it's some of the most involved music I've ever heard. You know.
The newer Profanity is what I'm the most familiar with, and it is fucking insane. It is. I mean, we talked about this last time. Like, it's fucking really difficult to listen to. It's fucking dense. It is tortuous, right? The guitar riffs are like very fucking. It's like I find myself at a loss trying to describe a lot of that shit, just because it's some of the more technical death metal that I've heard, that I've listened to.
It makes me think of that Blotted Science.
Blotted Science.
Yeah, it's like very similar to that. I feel his style of technicality is more bizarre than other styles of technicality.
Yeah. Fragments of Solace is the one that I'm familiar with, and that's their most recent one. That came out in 2020. But the ones that I got, so Shattering Thoughts is from 2000, and then the one with the fucked up cover is Shadows to Fall. That's from 97. So these are their first two albums.
I have a feeling you'll be studying those for a while. You know,
I'm down with that. I like that. So what we were talking about earlier, right? I want some shit.
Right.
I want some shit that's gonna work the old muscle. Unlike some of this other shit that I bought. Got some squash bowels, a little bit of love songs. Yeah, that's some Dead Infection, Corpses of the Universe.
Those two are kind of classics of the genre.
Oh yeah, Dead Infection for sure. Dead Infection, when it comes like A Chapter of Accidents for me is the sort of
is
the big one. Yeah, is the defining one, and that one I already have. But also SOULREAPER. This is the second one. The first one I've already had, like Written in Blood, I think is what it was called. This one is Life Razor.
And this was, for the folks out there, this was the band that was the members of Dissection after Jon Notveit took the ride and went to Chaos Land or whatever he believed. Yeah, it was not what you wanted from those guys. Of course, everyone was expecting it to be like Dissection, but I also felt like they were kind of trying to be more savage and a little more brutal. It was like kind of a death metal-y.
I like it.
Yeah, I liked the style they were doing, but I think maybe the production wasn't up to par on those. I'll have to listen to them again.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Have you heard of EctoSpire?
Yes.
This is awesome. So one of the dudes, James, I met at Death Fest last year. Super cool dude. Really cool to meet him.
Yeah, it's right up my alley.
This shit's really good,
I
man.
loved it.
This is an excellent demo, and I cannot wait to see where they go. Hopefully they're working on something. I know that they've landed a few shows. It seems like this is the tape has gotten really good reception so far. So hopefully they're going to be able to spin some momentum out of this thing and get us like another EP or a full length or something like that. Because these are
sure, absolutely
four good songs on here, but I need more, man. I need to hear more. This is one of my favorite new releases of 2023, though, man. This has been a blast.
Just the right amount of rawness to it. Just right, and then it's got tons of macabre horror atmosphere, which when I saw the cover I thought, well, is this gonna be thrash or something? But no, it's like full on macabre graveyard atmosphere horror movie death metal. It's wonderful. Yeah,
really
what I needed.
Well written songs, like just really catchy, like fucking infectious death metal.
Don't worry, everybody, I'm not gonna turn this into Megatrends in goth rock. But I do every once in a while. There is, I know there's a lot of stealth goth rock fans. This band Naut from the UK, which I worship. They're one of the only modern bands, and they're from the UK. They're from the wellspring of the original gothic rock. They are a modern band, and they are fucking amazing. And they sound like Fields of the Nephilim, or they have a little bit of Killing Joke in them. They're really fucking great, and they've been putting out a bunch of 7 inches and EPs, which I've been loving. They finally put out their first album. The new Naut album is called Hunt, And it's if you do have a goth
Nice.
hankering in any way, it's dark and occult and awesome, and lots of good guitar and bass playing. They are a classic drum machine goth band as well, so they have that sound going.
All right, let's do some questions.
Hit me, baby.
So, first question, let's go ahead and hit up our boy Stormland here.
Never heard of him.
How do you think Extermination Dismemberment is funding their absolutely bonkers music videos? Unique Leader can't afford those budgets. I don't know. The one that I am assuming he's talking about, the most recent one that I saw, was that Proto Nemesis song that they released a couple of years ago.
Oh, they got a newer one.
I've heard the single, but I haven't seen the video.
Yeah, I don't know if I've seen the video either, but yeah, I guess it's pretty crazy.
This is from Angry Jacko 10. We hear you both speak so much of death metal, black metal, tidbits of grind. What sort of metalcore gets your rocks off, tickles the fancy, scratches the itch? Patrick, you want to take this one?
Metalcore is, to me, generally like a light soft drink.
Yeah.
And I drink, in terms of metal, I drink like whiskey without ice. So I'm not into metalcore. I like some bands that have metalcore elements, I suppose, but it's something that I'm too old for metalcore. It's a genre that evolved when I was already old, and so it has
Ossified.
nothing. It's not attached to my youth. So to me, it's like, oh yeah. Metalcore doesn't mean much to me, except that it's death metal with less death metal in it.
I, on the other hand, have been known to drink the odd light soda, right?
Yeah, you're from the metalcore
Yeah, oh,
generation,
man, like,
for sure.
I-
Like you're like the target for sure. Yeah, I'm not into metalcore, but boy, do I love some hardcore. There's a lot of hardcore I'm into. And
Yeah.
I'm not interested in the subject matter generally and what they're talking about usually.
Friends.
But yeah, I love some Cro-Mags and shit. Like
Brain Rot asks, are there any bands that didn't click upon first listen that you stumbled across later and had that light bulb moment? Yeah, lots of them.
for me, Cannibal Corpse was the biggest one.
Yeah.
Like I hated them. I thought, this is the worst. This is garbage. This is horrible. This is terrible. This is disgusting. What is going? And then now I think they're one of the most important bands in music.
Yeah. I mean, I've got tons.
But, you know,
Obituary was one of the, we talked about that.
That took decades though for me
Yeah.
to make that change. It was very gradual, like the turning of a battleship. And then when I got it, it wasn't until Kill and the Corpse Grinder era where I said, okay, this is something that's really important and really musically advanced and really special. So yeah, I mean, I hated them. I thought they were complete garbage. So I can't think of a bigger turnaround in my entire life than my appreciation of Cannibal Corpse.
So Obituary, like, I didn't despise. I just wasn't into John Tardy's voice.
Yeah, very specific
yeah.
voice. Yeah.
So, or another one, Ghost. So
Yeah.
I didn't care for the first two Ghost records, and I really liked that single that had Square Hammer on it. I was like, this is pop music. This is incredible. I don't know if this is a correct answer to this question or not, because now I'm not into him anymore, because the only shit that I heard on that last Ghost album I did not like at all, so I'm no longer a Ghost fan. I own 0 Unleashed albums.
I don't know if you're going to be blown away by what you hear when you get some. But it's fun.
I'm trying to think of what
Fun
Unleashed
stuff.
I'm familiar with.
They definitely have about 3 different eras, I'd say, sound-wise.
I'd have to. I don't know, man. Unleashed is definitely a band that I would need to explore more.
You would like the very early stuff, Where Something Dwells is the first
Where
one.
No Light Dwells.
Where No Light Dwells. Okay, that's got a real weak production, like the guitars are real weak and stuff, but it's fun death metal. It's one of those that if it had been recorded at Sunlight Studio, it'd be a masterpiece. You know, the songs are good. It's really full of atmosphere and stuff. A very unique atmosphere compared to the other Scandinavian death metal albums of that time, because they were going for that whole Viking thing and so forth. But you would probably like that one. The stuff I like by them is right earlier before that. Century Media put out this awesome compilation that was like 3 or 4 different death metal bands doing like 3 or 4 songs a piece, and it was called In the Eyes of Death. The Unleashed songs on that are, in my opinion, the best Unleashed shit, period. I don't know. I'd be curious again to hear your thoughts on that.
It is. I listen to a lot of shit that sucks. I'm going to another one. Like, who was Trevor trying to get me to listen to? Was it Gorger? It was Immortal. It was
Both of us, me and Trevor, trying to get you into
Yeah, I still haven't listened. Hold on a second.
Uh-oh. Sasquatch attack, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh.
You gotta lock your back doors, or else the Sasquatch will just walk in. I don't know why he doesn't listen to me. I keep warning you about Sasquatch.
Oh, I got doors closed. I got cats out there fucking shrieking is what I got. You can't hear that?
It's because of the Sasquatch. I keep telling you.
Oh. Okay.
You got
I'll let 'em know.
Washington's Sasquatch.
I put Exists on the other day since it's streaming. That was
the homeless guy, where they get attacked by the homeless guy. Yes, I've mentioned this before.
Yeah.
You gotta be kidding me, man. There's something over there.
You ran across that ridge, right there.
There's no credible documented cases of a Sasquatch attack.
Shut up about a Sasquatch.
It's okay, there's nothing out here.
He's pushing us towards the edge.
I feel that he looks like a homeless guy, the Sasquatch.
Yeah. Well, but the look, it did creep me out, man.
I know. You know, when I first saw it, those attack scenes were really scary, where he's like coming in through the window and shit. Like that scared the fuck out of me until I saw his face, and it's just a homeless guy.
It's just a homeless guy.
If it had been like a
very,
wild
very
monster,
homeless guy.
have you seen that other Sasquatch horror movie, Abominable?
I don't think so.
That's a fun one, bro. You should watch that one. It's got Jeffrey Combs in it and stuff. But there's just, I don't know. I'll give you a spoiler if you don't.
Sure.
Because I don't think you give a fuck.
Give me a spoiler to take with me when
I
I go, because I got to take off.
Okay, it's got this big, giant Harry and the Hendersons type Sasquatch monster in it, which is really creepy and weird looking. But there's a part where he picks this guy up and he just like bites his face off. And I mean, like, just snaps this guy's face off.
That's awesome.
It's like crunch, and for that alone, you should watch that.
All right.
In terms of Sasquatch horrors,
I will do it.
But you'll have to watch our Sasquatch horrors episode next time for all of that. So you got to take off, sir.
Yeah. It's time to.
Guess I'll just say thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate you.
Always.
Appreciate you doing this show with me.
Hey, man. 1 is the loneliest number, right? So that's why it's Megatrends in totality.
Oh, it's so romantic.
That's right.
It's so romantic.
Right? Yeah.
All right, sir. Well, I'll let you go.
I love you, homie.
Love you, sir. Holla. And now I think I'll close the show with the theme from Cabin by the Lake. Remember? Chama crunch, chama crunch.
No, I don't.
You know, it'll be playing right now. Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to the theme for Cabin by the Lake right now. Is a huge horror hit. Thank you for watching our show. Thank you, Schuler. I bid you goodbye, and may you rot in hell, as always.
Bye!